Rocky's Animal Antics.
Hi guys, so this was Fudge's first vivarium. It was a 3 foot by 1.5 I think. It didn't have much in when she came, but I put some cork bark in and a few plants that she could move around in, and obviously noticed straight away that she loved to climb. So I wanted to take this into the new vivarium that I got her, which is the 4x2x2. So this is the start of the build in the 4x2x2. Uses a large cork round and some branches to make a tree-like structure. Obviously you can see my son helping here. He absolutely loves Fudge and reptiles and animals in general, so he was more than happy to help out. And that's him giving a little cheeky grin and a thumbs up as to what we were going through on the day. Then I started with the spray foam in. It was black spray foam. I used the gun attachment, which I thought was really good actually. I've used spray foam cans before, but this made it a lot more accurate and I could really get the spray foam exactly where I wanted it to go. Again, as I mentioned before, I wanted lots of places for her to be able to climb because she seemed to love that. So I tried to incorporate as many climbing spots as I could within this, especially on the right-hand side. As you'll see, she absolutely loves that area. So after the foam had cured, I went on to the next stage, which was cutting it back and peeling it back. I used a little serrated knife and just my hands to do this. This took a while, and it was definitely the most sort of tedious part of it. However, you can see the results in the end, that you kind of get an idea as to what the final product's going to look like after you've put some substrate on there. Can also show that on the left-hand side, this is where her water feature is going to be. And there's a small pump that goes up through the cork bark round, which will eventually become her waterfall feature. The vivarium was sealed and waterproof before I started the build. You can just see here that I've got the egg crates in, which is going to help for the drainage layer for the plants, and also to keep some of that humidity in. Even though she's got a big water feature, it will just help out with this. This is where I coated all the background in black silicone, which absolutely stinks. I didn't realise how much it does, so make sure you do that in a well-ventilated area. And then I pressed in the substrate, which is cocoa fibre, a little bit of topsoil and sphagnum moss. Really pushed this down into the silicone to make sure it adheres correctly, and I quite like the finished result. So here I've added the substrate. I did put a weed barrier over the egg crates, which I forgot to show. But that is there to stop the soil falling down through into that layer. My substrate consists of topsoil, clay sand, sphagnum moss, exoterra, rainforest, a little bit of charcoal, and yeah, I also obviously banked it up towards the back so that it gives that natural gradient to draw the eye. At this point I put some of the plants in, and I also added the sand into the water feature just because I hadn't finished the water feature yet, so I just wanted to make sure that area was filled, so I just filled it with clay sand for the time being. I've got some bromeliads, moss, snake plants, spider plants, and philodendron. Then I added Fudge because I was getting a little bit impatient, and as you can see, she went straight up over the back and started climbing all over these areas. The vines, I believe, are actual exoterra jungle vines that I just cut to shape, hot glued and drilled them into the areas that I wanted to, and then just covered with a mix of substrate, the sort of areas where the hot glue was showing. But yeah, you can see she's having a nice little mooch around and testing out her new vivarium at the moment. So this was after a few days. I took out the play sand, I got some water added in and some aquatic plants in there. And that's her custom made hide that I built. Just again, a standard process, plastic tub, essentially with a bit cut out, silicone, substrate, a bit of cork bark on there. And as you can see, she's up in her favourite spot, which is that sort of high ledge. The water feature was turned on, and moment of truth, it worked. So I was chuffed with that. And here's an overview of the vivarium from inside the vivarium. As you can see what it looks like basically from Fudge's point of view, from her sitting up on her favourite ledge. I also added a new bromeliad in there. There's her custom hide. And as we pan out, as you see, she'll be sat up surveying her land, her own little area of rainforest. Just going through the plants now. This bromeliad seems to be doing really well. She does like to sit in it, so she does tend to sort of crush it down a little bit, but it bounces back up most days, to be honest. It seems absolutely fine. Still got nice vibrant colours on it and growing well. So happy with the placement of that. Then we've got the moss that is being used as a waterfall to direct the flow of water. Was a little bit of an issue with this where it was sort of running underneath the cork bark round. So what I did was I actually got 2 pieces of rock and I siliconed them to the cork bark, and then it creates a lot better sort of flow going into the water area, so that I'm not getting this sort of slight overspill of water. It wasn't anything major, but it feels a lot more better and natural to me now. This fern did actually melt away quite a bit. It's growing really well now. You can see like nice green new growth on there. There's lots of new shoots coming up. So it's in a nice sort of dampish, not direct light place, and it's doing well. And the snake plant's just planted straight around the back because obviously you need a snake plant for a snake enclosure. This is a spider plant. Again, that was losing a bit of growth, and it's started to bounce back quite well now. So I'm pleased with that. This is my absolute favourite plant in the vivarium. The colours on it are absolutely magnificent. Again, it's another bromeliad, but the yellows and the reds and oranges, it really makes it pop. It's lovely. And then the philodendron, I got this as a little offcut, so it's growing again really well, but they grow like anything anyway, so there's no sort of special tricks to that. And yet again, here she is in her favourite area, having a look around. This is her warm hide. It's basically a plastic tub that's had black silicone put all over it, some cork bark pieces attached, and then the substrate sort of pressed in, exactly like how I did the walls. And then obviously I've got the leaf litter and botanicals all across the substrate. This is just to obviously keep the moisture in. There's also springtails and giant orange isopods, which you can see normally are hiding under the pieces of cork bark. And you can see one there, and there's a few there. But it is actually quite alive with the little bugs in there. And here is the girl herself, Fudge. She's absolutely lovely. She's just over a year old. Well, she'll be 2 in August, so a bit more than just over a year old. Amazing snake. She's our first ball python, and she's just so friendly. Like, family loves her. My lad absolutely adores her. Beautiful colours. She's just great temperament. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but we absolutely adore her, and really happy to have her as part of the family. And I've popped her back, and here she goes, just crawling off into her hide just for a nice little sleep. Here's a final look of pretty much the whole vivarium. I'm really pleased with how it turned out in the end. It's got a nice water feature for her, the colours really pop, and it's functional. So yeah, I'm very happy. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, as there'll be plenty more heading your way. Thanks for watching.